Is it working? Well, good afternoon again. Tom, if those words were done by my team, please tell me who did it, because I'm going to fire that person, okay? I'm a very small man in this world. I'm the smallest guy. And if it was you, remind me not to hire you again, okay? So I'm not going to dig into the rewired provocations deeply, but I'll tell you what is it all about, and hopefully Aman from Radical will be taking a very deep dive into the provocations. But let me start by a small story. That small story is the journey of Dubai Cares and how we started 14 years ago. The decision that we took at that time, with all the money that we had a startup capital of, what was it, $960 million. That was the startup capital. It was a fundraising, actually, an 8-week fundraising campaign. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum did it, who's our founder. We managed to raise $960 million. And we could have done one thing. We could have issued checks, given it to UN agencies and a lot of implementers, and we could have finished the mission in 3 years. But we didn't. We took a bold decision. We said, we have to invest our money into innovation. Education has a big problem. And that is what His Highness saw, and that's why he created Dubai Cares, to fix this issue. Now, we won't be able to fix it alone, but everyone does his job. Every entity does its bit, and a bit by a bit by a bit, that's how we can fix things. So we invested a lot in innovative programming, and that's what we did. We didn't do anything old. We took bold decisions to invest in innovative solutions for education. Whether it's girls' education, whether it's early childhood development, whether it's primary, secondary, youth, education in emergencies. Remember, during the Haiti times, we were talking about education. What education? The refugees, what education they're getting? Yes, they are getting some reading books, some coloring books, but is that education? It's not. Probably they can read some books, but is that the education that we want to give? We wanted mainstream education. We wanted those children, displaced people, refugees, children who don't have access to education in the world, to get quality education. And that's why when Education Cannot Wait started, it brought that life to us. But so we took bold decisions, and these are some of the decisions that we took. And I don't know why I'm wearing my mask, and none of my team members is telling me to take your mask off. You can speak. Sorry, just take a second. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. So we took those bold decisions. And I had a team which is crazy like me as well, I tell them I want to do this. Okay, we'll do it, we'll design it. And that's how they get in touch with our implementing partners. And we do it at the end. But then 14 years passed, and we've been doing innovation. We sit on almost every single international platform, UN platform, on education, on all spectrum of education. And what are we going to do with these programs? Are we going to let them be some stories on articles, newspapers, social media? Or should we actually change the world? Because I can do pilots only, and maximum I can do is one small scale-up in a country. I can't put all my money in one country, because it's going to deplete in 20 years, and probably I would not have any impact. So we made sure that we have to convince policymakers on how this works. And to do that, we kept on investing in research to get the evidence on what works and what doesn't, and how we can tweak things and how we can adapt to a new system in a new country in a different context which is relevant to that country. And we succeeded. For 14 years, we succeeded. But then we wanted to showcase all of this, so we started showcasing it in all the international platforms that we sit on. A lot of agencies from the UN, international NGOs always tells us, we're doing a certain program in this country with girls. Can you tell us, other than these components, have you done anything else that was nice? And we give them, and then they go, they design it, and they do it. And they ask us, who did it for you? And we tell them, for instance, X NGO did it, and then we connect them. And that's how life goes, and that's how we learn. But where else we can show the world what we can do? It was here at RewirEd Summit. After 14 years, we said we have to take advantage. These are our programs. The summit is driven by us with the 11 global partners, of course, that we have with us. And this is the opportunity where we can show the world that these programs can work. And there are some of them which are really interesting, which can actually give an impact, can do that change, and can be the provocateur of that segment. And that's where we were thinking, how can we do it? How can we take advantage of this whole thing and tell people that these calculated risks and everything that we've been doing can be displayed here? And that's where Radical came in. And we spoke, Aman will be coming on stage in a bit, and we spoke to Radical, and we told them, can you give us a set of provocations that we have to tell the world from everything that we have been doing, everything that exists in the world, from all the education programs, and take 6 to 10 provocations and tell the world? They said, yes, we can, but we are not in touch with the world that you're in touch with. I said, that's the easiest part. We'll connect you to them. And they were connected with all our partners. This has been a task for about 2.5 years, if I'm not mistaken, Aman. And they've been working on these provocations, which they will show you. But then we wanted to take these provocations into action. Is that it? We're going to stay at RewirEd Summit and do nothing about it? No. We're going to take it into action. Taking it into action, we already, from these provocations, have identified what kind of experiments, what kind of innovation we have to invest in so those can become impactful, and the future programmatic interventions into these countries. And hopefully these will have that change that we're looking for into some of these countries. And that's why we're here today. We're here to look at these experiments and which group of people has actually nailed it a bit better than the other ones, and we will be investing some of our funds into their experiments so we can keep the dialogue running on taking calculated risks, on having innovative solutions. But this is with a twist, because we're not involved. We outsourced it, and we are experimenting this whole thing with Radical. And Aman, this is the time where you come on stage and tell everyone what you have. Thank you very much.